Welcome to Smoky Valley High School. This is Don Bings along with Doug Snyder. Appreciate Mike Rose having all the equipment and everything ready for us to do a broadcast of this triangular tonight between the Smoky Valley Vikings hosting first matchup, the Larned Indians, and then will be Larned and Haven, and we'll broadcast that game as well. And then Smoky Valley will take on Haven in the nightcap. Doug, you saw these girls play a week ago. They're kind of on a hot streak, 15-1 on the year.
They really are. They played extremely well out of the gate last week. I thought they played a tough Clay Center team, and I thought responded extremely well. Ended up winning that one in 2. Ended up losing a game in that second match of the night, or their last match of the night, because Hoisington kind of came out and bit them just a little bit, but I thought they responded well in set 3, and really a lot of great senior leadership, I thought, stepping it up down the stretch. But Abby Rose played an amazing third game of that match, getting 10 of the points out of the 25 there, leading toward 10 of the points. So this is a nice squad. They play very well together. They've been very, very effective with what they've done. And of course, number 4 in the state right now. There's only 3 teams above them, and they're really primed in a great spot to go into the postseason here shortly.
And they've beaten ranked teams. They've beaten Hillsboro. They've beat Circle. They've beaten Ellenwood. They've beaten TMP. They've beaten Nickerson. They've beaten Clay Center. They haven't played a soft schedule, so they've got some able to have tough competition. So tonight will be a real strange. Both these teams coming in haven't got a good record, but you still got to play good to win.
Yeah, it's one of those games that can come up and bite you if you're not careful. We see that in every sport, whether it's football, basketball, softball, baseball, doesn't matter. Even in tennis, you've got to come out here ready to play and not allow a team to come up and gain some confidence, especially in that first game of the night, and get yourself going. And that's going to be a test for our girls tonight, I think, to show what they should be able to do.
Speaking of tennis, congratulations go out to the Smoky Valley tennis teams, winner of the 8-team match they had just yesterday here, and they're going to come up on league coming up on this weekend, and then they get to host Sub-State. So Coach Bella sent me the results of that, and they, out of 6 teams, they took first place over Heston. Ellsworth took 3rd, Central Plains took 4th, Hillsboro took 5th, and Trinity Catholic took 6th. So that was a great for them, and it's time for starting lineups. How about our Vikings tonight?
Vikings tonight going to go with Elise Ramsey. She's going to be the starting setter tonight for them, and then Addie Heitschmidt, Maddie Toll, Carrington Haxton, Aubrey Boldra, and Abby Rose for Larned. They bring out Nikki Taylor, number 2, Julia Tapia, number 3, number 6, Caden Upson, number 9, Courtney Kraft, number 20, Jamie Hagerman, and number 21, Paisley Lovesey.
And they are coached by Amy Wilson, assisted by Lucia Hagerman and Jordan Warden. And the Vikings coached by Charlene Ramsey, assisted by Kara Knopp and Nathalia Stevenson. Both teams are orange and black, so we've got to make sure we're cheering for the right team tonight. Larned with orange lettering, orange numerals with their black uniforms. The Vikings have some white lettering and orange with white trim on the numbers, so we'll be able to tell them apart. We know these girls. We don't know the Larned girls. And former Abilene coach, is he retired now, Mike Jantz?
He is retired. He's moved to the dark side, I guess you could say, and has a chance to get to retirement and do some officiating now. So good to have a good person like that involved after retirement as well.
Larned first serve, and up serving is number 9, Kraft.
And she sends it out here on the first serve, so the Vikings get on top early, 1-0.
One early lead. Substitution in, Bell Peters in for Ramsey. It's frequent in volleyball. Substitution flying on the run.
And again, that's that setter-hitter rotation where you start with one setter there and you bring your next hitter-setter in and make that rotation there.
And McKinley Johnson starting off, and she's serving at a 98% clip. So what a great job that McKinley has done all year for serving. Ready to go, and here we go for the first serve for Smoky Valley. Bumped up, set over, and over into the Vikings court. Oh, good effort by the Vikings to go get it, but that was kind of in no man's land. Carrington Haxton tried to get the ball to save it, but it goes out, and point to Larned, 1-1.
Yeah, one of those tough plays. Again, kind of a ball comes over as a free ball, but it lands in a difficult spot right there in the middle. Haxton sold out to try to go get it, but couldn't quite get there in time.
Just didn't get the direction right. She got it over the net fine. Serving now is number 8 for Larned. That is Crable. Dug out, set, and a big spike by Abby Rose all the way out into the Commons area. 2-1 Vikings here early going.
Yeah, when the Vikings get in system, when they can put that first pass exactly where they want to get it and get the set they want, they are really, really difficult to beat. And that was one of those plays right there. The timing was right, and Abby drives it home.
.395 hitting percentage for Abby Rose. Now Boulder to serve. Puts it deep, dug out nicely, set up, and spike coming, blocked nicely by the Vikings. Kept alive by Larned, but not long enough, and point Vikings 3-1. Starting to show their mettle here a little bit. Boulder with another serve. Good hard serve, dug out nicely. And not over the net. Another point for the Vikings. So they're on a little bit of a roll right now.
Yeah, Vikings kind of, like you said, taking advantage of some of the mistakes that Larned's making right now and really making them pay for those mistakes.
Boulder with another nice serve. Dug out and all the way over the net out of bounds. So Boulder is on a real little tear right now with her serve. I don't know if I have. She's not listed here as our stats on serving accuracy, but boy, she's on a good start here early going. A little bit of a higher serve that time, dug out nicely. And miscommunication between Larned and a quick timeout by Coach Wilson. She's not happy with her start of her team, and that's the pressure you take when you have a team with only one loss you're facing.
Yeah, pretty young group as well. You know, out of their starters, 2 of them were freshmen out of the gate, and that would have been Upson, number 6, and Kraft, number 9. And then their libero is also a junior, but and Jamie Hagerman, number 20, a sophomore. So only 2 seniors in that first part of the starting lineup for them. And again, when you have a young team like that, and you are coming in already thinking that you're playing the number 4 team in the state that's on a 15-match tear, you are kind of behind the 8 ball early, and they've definitely showed that. Of course, getting that tie at 1-1, but since then a 5-0 run here on behalf of the Vikings to push that lead up to 6-1.
And it worked to her advantage because it got Boulder out of her rhythm. She was in a really nice rhythm there with those good serves. Now serving for Larned, Tapia. Jump serve, good serve in, dug out nicely by Boulder. Set by Johnson. Attack by Rose, and wow, she's 2 for 2 already early going.
Yeah, she does such a nice job. That one was off the net just a little bit to her, but she did an excellent job finding it and drove it home.
Franklin and Heitschmidt join Peters in the front row for the Vikings. Abby Rose will be serving. Oh, and right into the net. So Abby Rose not good. She had a really good serving the last match, but that one hit the net. 7-3, Vikings with the lead. Now serving, I can't see her number.
Number 2.
2, Taylor. They scrunched together a little bit. Couldn't tell if it was 6 or an 8. Dug out nicely by Boulder. Set to Johnson, coming over to Heitschmidt. Good partial block there by Larned, but boy, it went down inside. Excellent play by the Vikings.
Yeah, nice set by McKinley Johnson also, sending it out to the outside here where Heitschmidt could get a good angle on it and really bring it right across the block that time.
Maddie Toll and Elise Ramsey back in, or in for the first time. Ramsey will be serving for the Vikings. Again, her serving percentage is good. 96% of her serves find where the aim is. Dug out nicely by Larned, set. Here comes the spike, dug out nicely by Boulder. Ramsey with the set to Heitschmidt. Block, ooh, good block by Larned.
Yeah, number 19, is that right?
Yep, Edelman.
Yep. And she did a nice job. She got to her spot there and actually was the outside hitter on that first one. And then they switched that rotation and bring her to a backside hitter. So she's the strength of the blocking. And she was able to get up, make nice contact, to get the block for the kill.
8-4, Vikings with the lead. Serving now is number 20 for Larned, Hagerman. Deep, dug out nicely. Set, Franklin. And out of bounds to the Vikings. I'm not sure that would have stayed in. It's just hard to tell at the angle that came at whether the Larned player could keep that inbounds or not.
Yeah, it really is. You have a difficult time. You really got to know where the spot is on the floor and also know how far away you are from that location as well.
Trying to figure out who needs the ball. They're going to switch balls because that one went up in the stand, so they're going to disinfect it real quickly. I haven't heard, and maybe you know, if there's any volleyball matches been canceled. There's been a few football matches that have been canceled, but they got nicely by Larned and put over. Here's Franklin with a little tip shot. Beautiful tip by Bree Franklin.
Yeah, nice wash play there. That was really nice. Goes up with the left hand, and Bree does a nice job of bringing that from the middle to the outside. I haven't heard of a lot of volleyball games being canceled at this point.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I just know that, obviously there's that potential out there for some.
Oh, served by the Vikings, just crawled over the net by Abby Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt serve again. Beautiful serve, dug out nicely. Tip up and over by Larned. Heitschmidt, they're going to say she caught it. That's a judgment call, and Mike Jantz with the call at the net. 11-5, Vikings with the lead.
Yeah, a lot of times you're really looking for that ball stop, and that ball clearly stopped in Addie's hands that time. She turned it as well.
Boulder digs that one out to Ramsey. Two-toll, good spot, good little gump over the net with an empty spot, and Vikings with a dozen.
We used to call that the off speed when I coached. You didn't really get great contact on it. You just got it right up and over the top of that block, and nobody else could get there in time to make that play.
That's good court awareness, though, knowing where that little open spot is. Here's Bree Franklin, who's just recently signed to go play volleyball at Kansas Wesleyan next year. And that set's deep, going to be out of bounds, and Viking point.
And Addie Heitschmidt signed to go to McPherson earlier in the year as well, so good to see that for both of those young ladies.
Franklin serve, dug out nicely. Set, two-handed underhand set, not over the net by Larned. Vikings again extending their lead to 9 points here.
Yeah, again, you made that comment earlier that Larned came in kind of struggling a little bit, but it's important for Smoky Valley to dominate this game the way they should.
And they are good. Another serve by the Vikings have really been on top of their serving tonight, early.
Yeah, Bree does such a nice job bringing that ball from the outside corner over here and back into the floor, and she gets it to drop really well right around that 10-foot line.
That one's going to sail, and it's going to be right on the line. Line judge with the flag, and another timeout for Larned.
I want to thank our line judges, Jeremy Elseth, helping us out tonight. Of course, Mr. Steinert over here as well, so we appreciate those guys.
We can talk a little bit about how the tennis team did in doubles and singles. Allstet and Gaskill ended up taking 8th place. Elliott and Rockhold took 2nd. They were defeated in the championship match in Smoky Valley Tennis. And then Logan Spencer and Cree Adam ended up playing each other for 3rd place. So Spencer got 3rd and Adam got 4th in doubles. So it all totaled up to a 48-point win for the Vikings over 2nd place, 42 for Heston. So good job for the Smoky Valley tennis team.
Hard to believe it's almost league time. I mean, it's hard to believe we're almost there, league, and then, of course, regionals, and the fact that we get to host them is really solid for our girls.
Franklin back on the serve again. That one finds the court set up, and now this one needs to go over, and does. Hits the top of the net. So they call that out of bounds. I thought they played that. They don't play that.
The ball, if it hits on a play on the side, so on your own side, but when it hits going over, it's going to be an out of bounds on that scenario.
So points for the Vikings, 17-5. There's a little loop serve, tipped over nicely, dug out by Ramsey, set up and over by the Vikings. Good job by Boulder to get that one set up. And spike goes into the net. Viking point. 18-5. Vikings opening up a pretty good lead here early.
They're going to get Avery Vanderweg in here to come in as a libero. She'll come in for Heitschmidt in the back row over here as well.
Franklin continues to serve and serving nicely. Wow, she's just found a real rhythm in her serve. That timeout did not affect her. McKinley Johnson, when she was serving, or no, it was Rose when she was serving, the timeout affected her serve, but Franklin has come out of the timeout. Serving hot. Oh, that one maybe been out, but Larned made a play on it, went out of bounds. Still Viking, now they're up to 20.
Yeah, always tough when you get to this point in time in the season and you have to play against a team like Smoky Valley who's been playing so well. And if you're Larned, you've had those struggles, you've got to kind of get rid of those going here into game 2.
Lanny Haig coming in for the Vikings. It's Haig, Rose, Toll on the front line for Smoky Valley. And that one does go out. Franklin she didn't get it close enough, so Larned made a play on it. So point for the Larned Indians.
Carrington Haxton checks back into the match. She's checking back in for Bree in the back row as a specialist.
And Abby Rose back in as well.
Number 9 back in to serve here. That's Courtney Kraft, the freshman for Larned. She'll be serving back there for the Indians.
Need to get a side out to get the serve back. Good dig by the Vikings. Haig gets it over to Ramsey. Ramsey over the net. Good dig. Good spike by Larned for the point.
Yeah, nice job there. They brought the Vikings up by a middle hit there, and number 3, Julia Tapia, ends up being able to push that ball into that deep left corner, that center area back in there where the Vikings didn't have it covered. And she drops one in there for a nice point, so 20-7 now.
Dug out by Vanderweg. Ramsey with the set to Rose, and it's just going to be called in. Right on the line again. Boy, she's had a couple. Vikings have had a couple just right on the line. 21-7, football score. Speaking of football scores, the favorite team maybe last night didn't fare so well.
No, it didn't look like it. I mean, the Chiefs looked really, really solid last night, that's for sure. Boy, they made the Ravens look bad.
McKinley Johnson back in to serve. It's Haxton, Vanderweg, and McKinley Johnson on the back row. Johnson serve. Ooh, that might have been deep. It's played by Larned. 22-7 now. Vikings about ready to close this first game out. Johnson jump serve. Oh, finds a good set up, and now over again by Tapia. Set by Haxton. Push over by Haig. Dug out by Vanderweg. Tip over and point for the Vikings. Communication error for Larned again. Wasn't sure who was going to handle that, either their libero Taylor or number 20 Hagerman. Johnson serve. Oh, nice one. Dug out by Tapia. Over by Larned, but it's going to be deep. And this is going to be game point. 24-7. Vikings really showing some dominance here in the first match. Dug out nicely by Larned. Set up, underhand set. Tapia. And the Vikings get it over. Good job by Carrington. Oh, not over, and the Vikings win game 1. 25-7 is game 1, and we will just take a quick break as they don't change sides anymore, so it won't take more than a minute or so to get game 2 underway.
Yeah, they still do the 3-minute break in between and give them an opportunity to get some water, get relaxed, get things like that. But very dominant match there for Smoky Valley. Their rotations were able to do what they wanted them to do. It took a while, again, to get that next setter rotation in there of Johnson and Peters, because the other group picked up so many points along the way. If you don't get the rotations and you don't have that many side outs, it oftentimes gets to a situation where you have a group that sits for quite a long time. So it'll be interesting to see if they start out in the same rotation this time. I assume they will, because once you get a rotation that works for you, you stay that way. But you can always mix that up if you decide you want to try something, in case, we've had years here at volleyball where, unfortunately, when you get to sub-state, you either have an illness or an injury, or you've got something you've got to mix and match. And we've had those years before where we've had to do that and make some last-second adjustments. And, you prepare for things like that a little bit by practicing through some different rotations and different ideas. And sometimes a game like this, you can try some of those ideas and see how they look on court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to do that when you're practicing with your own team, but you get another team on the court that you're favored to win, and you are ahead in the game. It certainly gives you an opportunity to do that. Larned and Smoky Valley will play game 2 of a best-of-3 match, and then Larned and Haven will be the middle match, and then the Vikings will take on Haven in the late matchup. Again, we got a big trip coming up Friday. Smoky Valley football on the road at Goodland on Friday.
Yeah, an opportunity to get a nice little jaunt in there for us. You mentioned regionals for tennis coming up. Of course, we do host. That's Friday, October 9th and Saturday the 10th. We've got Alma Wabaunsee coming in here, Bennington, Hillsboro, of course, Smoky Valley. We've got Lyons, Perry-LeCompton, Prairie Village out of Kansas City Christian. We've got Rossville, Sabetha, Salina Sacred Heart, Shawnee Moranthia Christian Academy, and Sterling. Some very, very good tennis teams coming here for regionals.
Yeah, I know Sterling has been good over the years. I don't know if they're good again this year or not, but
Kansas City Christian, very good in tennis as well. So there's going to be some really, really good tennis here on October 9th and 10th, and that's, like you said, not just a week from this Friday.
Yeah.
So it'll be here before we know it.
I asked Coach Bella to give me a little bit of an inside scoop on the team, and he said you just need to be a little more consistent. He said the singles players are really starting to play well, but his doubles players, he wants a little bit more consistency out of them, so that's how it'll go. Starting lineup's the same?
Starting lineups are mostly the same. They've since they backed off a rotation here and changed this, that allows McKinley to start. So again, sometimes you do things a little bit differently there based on backing off a rotation and deciding how you want to start that mix, which is why they subbed so quickly last time. Larned, for the most part, looks like they are similar, at least, if not the same. And when you have a good young squad like this, you're trying to develop that consistency on the court. I'm sure they're still, again, trying to find themselves a little bit, trying to figure out what works best for them, but also trying to stick with something so you get some consistency.
I forgot to do the running score last time, so I'll get that started this time and keep track of how it goes, because I know the Vikings put together a couple pretty long streaks there. McKinley Johnson will start for the Vikings. We are underway for game 2. Good serve, good dig at the net. They're going to set it up and tipped over. Good save by the Vikings, Boulder, and over by McKinley, but out of bounds. Larned takes a 1-0 lead.
I think that's the first time in the night the Vikings have trailed. Is that correct?
I think you're right.
I think that is right. So, again, pretty nice attack there in the middle. Got the Vikings on their heels just a little bit with the touch, and then end up hitting the free ball out of bounds.
Good dig by Heitschmidt. Good effort by Johnson. Good push over by the Vikings. Set and over by Larned. McKinley, Harrington, and kill by Rose. Ties it up at 1-1.
Yeah, it was a nice kill by Abby on that one. I think the one thing she'll tell you is she would have liked to have made a little better contact with it, but she did come right off the top of the block. And as soon as that came off, it made it really difficult for the back row to pick that up.
Yeah, that comes pretty quick. You don't have much time to adjust on that one. Boulder serve, dug out by Larned, set, and over by Tapia. Set for the Vikings. 2 heights. Oh, nice block. Boulder there to rebound. Bell Peters, good dig by Larned again. Good action here in this point. Dug by the Vikings, set. And Heitschmidt tipped. Good save by Larned again. And good job by Rose. I don't know how soon she can touch that, but boy, it was right at the peak of the coming over the net.
On the hit, she can go up and make that attack or that block in any location she wants. So, of course, you want to reach over that net and get that block to where it comes straight down on the other team's side.
Vikings 2-1 now, and now it's 3-1.
I like seeing the aggression here from Larned. I think they're bringing a little bit more energy in this game, and they're moving a little bit smoother. I know that one was not the pass they were looking for there, but I think they're moving better. The thing they lack a little bit, I think, is that front row attack. They're not able to get the same heat on the ball that the Vikings are able to get.
Boulder serve again, dug out nicely. Tapia with a good set, over for Larned. Oh, a little awkward there, but the Vikings save it. And boy, that was a reaction by Bell Peters.
Yeah, a little lack of communication there on the back row, but nobody called it. I think they both thought they had it between Haxton and Boldra, and then nice little play to get the ball over the net and just keep it alive. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get the point.
Got to get it over the net. That's the first object. Boulder serve again, deep. Good dig by Larned. Set. A little bit deep on the set. Save, dug out nicely by the Vikings. Quickly up to Heitschmidt. And big, powerful kill by Addie Heitschmidt.
A nice location for Addie to be able to get on top of that ball. McKinley again, another nice set, giving her an opportunity to get on top and turn the ball over a little bit.
They're getting the sets where they want them. Dug out nicely by Larned on Boulder's serve. Tapia comes in there, but dug out nicely by the Vikings. Oh, over, and good job by McKinley. That was unexpected, but Larned wasn't ready for that one.
Yeah, that nice quick on the number 2 there on that second pass is oftentimes an opportunity to drop one in, and she did that. This is the rotation where the Vikings got things going last time with Boulder serving as well.
Oh, and that one's deep, so that point goes. Why'd you say something?
Well, we still did get the little run here. It was still in that moment.
Yes,
but remember last time they took that quick timeout to be able to ice that, and she came back out after the timeout and missed. So we were very similar in points to the last game as well.
6-2 now. As serving is Crable. They got nicely by Boulder, set by, a little miscommunication on where that one going. But the soft over ends up finding a hole.
Yeah, I think that's something that the Vikings over here would like to get back. Again, McKinley just trying to set it up. Unfortunately, sets it right over her head, and Abby had a hard time getting to that one. But again, the ball drops in between two Larned players over there and still gives us the point.
7-2. Abby Rose with the serve. Drops in nicely for an ace.
Nice job challenging herself by Abby. I mean, she normally is a jump server, but on that one, she wanted to drop that ball as close to the 10-foot line, the hitting line there as possible. And so she took a stationary serve there. Again, trying to work on some mixes there to do different things.
And another point for the Vikings.
Yeah, puts that one a little bit deeper. She brought him up on that last one and then sends that one to the deep right corner. So placement is such a big thing in serving.
See where this one goes, right in the middle. Dug out nicely, but over the net, tipped up by the Vikings. Bree Franklin with another tip over the net, and that one's out. And deep, Abby continues to serve. 10 now. Or is that 11?
It was 10-2. 10-2.
Abby Rose with another serve. That one goes deeper, dug out nicely. Set. And hit, but boy, the Vikings right there. Bell Peters with a nice block. And the Vikings have 11-2.
Yeah, Bell and Bree both there on the double block. I think Bell gets the contact, but again, you get that double block set, it's tough to make that play.
Oh, there's a beautiful little higher loft serve right at that, what you called it, the 10-foot line to force Larned to take a timeout. Boy, a 5-0 run and another 5-0 run. 2 5-0 runs to give them a 12-2 lead.
That's a good way to push your lead out. That's definitely for sure. And again, I just think they're just executing. You know, again, some mistakes I think are things they're going to look back on when they look at this film and realize that, you know, and again, sometimes if the ball's not coming back with a lot of heat, it changes sometimes the complexion of what you're able to bring back up. But, you know, you get that first really hard attack and you've got to make a pass out of it. You're in rhythm, you're in motion. When it's coming over kind of slow, it makes it a little bit more difficult to make some of those plays.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you just said, that the Vikings are, Abby Rose, working on her serve, trying to decide which serve suits her best, and having them just kind of like a baseball pitcher, having a changeup, having a fastball, having a curveball.
Well, it's like, you know, it's a lot like football where you have to make that halftime adjustment. You don't get much of a halftime here. You get an opportunity to go back there and serve and find placements and find openings, and that's what she's focused on right now, is moving the ball around the floor.
Dig out. Now it needs to go over, and it's deep. Vikings with another point. They're really on a roll. 13-2 now. They're just clicking on all cylinders. Dug out, over the net, and back in. Bree Franklin reaches over and puts it down. Do you call that a kill?
You do call that a kill. Bree's right there at the net, and she's able to go up with two hands, and that's how you want to control that. Get two hands on the ball and tap it right down.
Another dig goes over the net. Bell Peters with the spike, but it doesn't go. Gets dug out nicely. Vikings get a dig. Rose with a deep hit, and that's going to be deep. Well, a 7-0 run got stopped, but boy, what a nice lead the Vikings have at 14-3.
Yeah, good job developing that now. And Chloe Patrick's going to check in now for Smoky Valley. She's going to come in for Abby Rose and get an opportunity to play some back row time here for the Vikings.
She's a
junior.
Happy with the serve. Played nicely by Bolga. Bell Peters with the hit. Spike, and it goes in for the Vikings point. So only 1 point. Boy, when you stop their rally at 1 point, it doesn't take long to get that lead extended.
And we talked about it earlier, you know, that's 15 points in, and now you finally get your setter-hitter rotation. So the Vikings have just made it through 3 rotations and are on their 4th rotation right now. So for the first time in this match, you get Elise Ramsey in the game and you get Maddie Toll in the game.
Deep, dug out nicely, but over to the side of the court, now over by Larned. Boulder with a set to Ramsey, to Maddie Toll, and she gets it over. Wasn't a pretty spike, but it went out of bounds and gets a point for the Vikings.
Now again, she's been sitting for a long time, so you know you got to kind of get loose and get back out there. And again, not the hit she would have wanted to get, but she'll take the point.
Elise Ramsey with a nice serve, just gets it in a tough spot. The Vikings get another point. So the Vikings, the serving is really top notch for the Vikings tonight.
Yeah, in a game like this where you've got a team that's really struggling to get the ball back to you, you want to put the ball in play every opportunity and make them have to make the play.
Trying to get it over, and they do. Franklin gets it over. Oh, that maybe helped the Vikings for the Larned player to push it over the net. Dug out nicely by Boulder. Over. And point for Larned. That was kind of a mix-up. Nothing really got set in rotation, but Larned ended up getting the point.
Yeah, a lot of just, not necessarily junk. I tell you, Julia Tapia got that started there with a nice dig on that very first service, and then a little bit of just jousting back and forth there, and a little slow coming over there by Bree, and that allowed the hit, and it hit the top of Bree's hands and went out of bounds.
Boulder gets it over, and nice long spike. Franklin didn't even jump on that one. She just hit it from that 10-foot line and got it into the right spot.
Yeah, she did a really nice job there of being able to do a kind of a flat-footed hit. She does a nice job. You roll over the top of that ball, and that got the point.
Deep serve dug out by Tapia. We've mentioned her name a lot tonight. There's the Vikings need to get it over the net now and do. Tapia dig, set, spike coming up. Good job by Patrick. Toll goes out to get it, and Franklin over the net. Dug out by Larned, little help, and over. Oh, good job. Found the open spot. Patrick with a dive to try to get it, but that was just good placement.
Yeah, it really was. Nicely dropped in there and allowed Larned to be able to get another point here.
18-5. Each team trading points in the last four now. And who came in now? I don't. For 18.
McElroy in the game now.
McElroy. Serving is Hagerman. Deep serve, point Vikings. 19, pardon me. 19-5. Now it's back and forth. 5 points in a row, back and forth. Abby Rose back in, Patrick out. Rose, Toll, and Boulder on the front line. Gilroy, Ramsey, and Franklin serving. Dug out, over the by Larned. Ramsey with the set, back to Toll. She's going to just push it long. And Hagerman hit it, and she couldn't hit it a second time. The point Vikings.
No, and that was a nice attack by Toll. Again, she a little off speed there. She couldn't quite get up on top. So again, the best option then is to push that ball deep into that corner, and that's exactly where she went. And she was unable to get that play made, like you said.
Nice serve by Franklin, hit the net, and just enough topspin to get over the net and fall in for a point. That's a little bit of luck on your side.
I'll ask Bree tomorrow. She'll tell me she did that on purpose. So you play that net. Sometimes it goes your way. Sometimes it doesn't.
I don't think you ever play that net, do you?
Oh, you can try it once in a while. You can try to play right around it.
That one deep by Larned. They got a nice dig and just had a long hit, and it went long for a 22nd point for the Vikings, 22-5. Beautiful serve, spiked by Toll. Larned trying to get it back over and does. Now McElroy with the set up to Ramsey. Oh, and Boulder didn't get it over the net. Good point, Larned. It just seemed like they didn't quite get that in control the way they wanted it.
No, and again, sometimes, like I said, that flow of game is really important, and it never really kind of came around on that last point, and Larned was able to pick that one up.
Oh, McElroy can't get it to go right, and point Larned, so they finally get two in a row, 22-7 now.
Yeah, nice serve by Lemieux back there. Only a junior for them, so she plays that libero role for him. That ball coming off McElroy's hands just a little bit to the left, and Rose couldn't quite bring it back in.
That one out. Point Vikings, 23. Vikings just about ready to close this one out. Peters in for Ramsey. And McKinley Johnson and Rose in as well. McKinley will go back and serve, see if she can close this game out. Dig by Larned goes over. The Vikings have to get it over the net now, and Rose does. Oh, good shot. Sometimes it's just in the right place at the right time. Good point, Vikings now for game point.
Yeah, good solid start tonight for Smoky Valley. They're taking care of business against a team that, is in a position where they should take care of it. Nice serve there to finish it off by McKinley Johnson. That will put us at 25-7. Vikings get identical wins in both games, 25-7, 25-7.
Yeah. And any final thoughts on this match? We're going to have to change live feeds, Mike said, so we'll kind of wrap it up. The Vikings just really, like you said, took care of business and didn't have one of those stumbling block nights tonight in their first match.
Yeah, I think they came out here very businesslike. They got the job done and did exactly what they needed to do and practiced some things that I thought they wanted to get done, especially on the serves. And now they turn their attentions to the late match, and Larned now has to turn their attention to an opportunity to play against Haven now and see what they can do.
Yeah, they got both equal records, so somebody's going to get a win here tonight, and we'll broadcast that one too. So we'll take a little bit of a break and then be back with the live feed again with Larned and Haven coming up in, 10 or 15 minutes before they get probably 20 minutes. Put 20 minutes on the clock. So we'll be back for you with match 2 after a while.